welcome to Lyle's Friday podcast. It's been a busy week down here. I hope everybody's doing well as spring starts to come alive up north. We're getting a lot more phone calls from that direction, so I know the weather's getting better. A couple of things that I wanted to go over with you to help you, help me, help you when you need parts. Anytime you're going to call a parts facility, especially someone who's dealing in vintage parts that perhaps aren't made anymore, or it's a limited supply, you're not just calling O'Reilly for it, there's some helpful things you can do that are going to help me help you, okay? First of all, know the year of the car. I can't tell you how many times I get a call from somebody looking for parts for their 79 Corvette, and I start asking them questions and nothing's making sense. I said, wait a minute, this is for a 79? And they're like, oh no, 99. Well, that's 20 years, it's a big difference. That's really, really important. And just because you think you know the name of the year of the car, differences between years, differences in half years all play a really important role in figuring out which part goes where and what's correct for your specific car. So be sure you know the year of the car. You can use the VIN to check it, you can look at your title, know the year, first and foremost. Secondly, you need to know how to tell left from right. And I'm not being funny as in you don't know your left from your right, although some of you I may worry about. But overall, in the car industry, left and right is always figured from sitting in the driver's seat. So this car behind me, okay, if I'm sitting in the driver's seat, anything on the passenger side is going to be right hand. Anything on the left driver's side is going to be left hand. So you don't stand in front of the car looking at the hood going, yep, my right hand headlight's bad, because that's not your right hand headlight, that's your left hand headlight. When you're thinking right and left in a car, always as if you were sitting in the driver's seat. That's number two. Number trace. Most parts, 95% of parts that GM produced for the Corvette all had a part number embossed, printed, stamped, stickered onto them. Especially when we're dealing with electronic modules, like, hang on, C5 and C6 use these black plastic modules all over the car. And they all have the same plastic case that is indistinguishable, even though the guts inside change depending on what options came with your car and how it was configured. So, part numbers, always an 8-digit number for anything made after about 1980, always an 8-digit part number. If you see a number that is longer than 8 digits, shorter than 8 digits, or has letters in it, that's not the GM part number. Always 8 digits. So here's the part number. Right under the word driver, that's what you say, hey Lyle, I need a module and it's got this part number on it. I'm going to be able to help you lickety-split and get your problem solved. Couple other items. Distributor cover from an 85 to a 91. If you look here, formed right into it, 8-digit part number. So instead of you trying to explain to me that it's, well, there's the wiper, motor, and the engine, and we don't have to do that. You say, there's a part number, and I can help you right away. Suspension bits, especially C4 and up, almost all have the 8-digit part number molded directly into them. It won't rub off, it won't get torn off, it won't wear off with wetness and moisture. So, let's review. Things you can do to help me, or any parts purveyor. Know the year of your car. Know the part number. Know your right from your left. If all other things fail, if you just aren't a car dude who knows the lingo, that's okay. You don't have to be. What you do have is you, my friend, you have a cell phone. And in that cell phone, there's a camera. So, if you have a part that you're not sure what it is, take a bunch of pictures of that part at all different angles. If you have a part number that you locate on that, snap a picture of that. If not, it's okay. When you're dealing with somebody who's as specialized as we are doing only Corvette stuff, I can spot what a Corvette part is in an entire pile of junk and tell you what year it's for, because that's all we do. So you send me 2, 3, a dozen pictures of the part you need to my email, you're going to be able to get an answer really fast. I'm going to tell you how many I have, what year it's for, if it's correct for your car, and how much it's going to be. These are things that are going to make your life and my life a whole lot easier, and I look forward to helping you with every single one of them. Next, in a minute, I'm going to show you guys exactly what happens at a small, independently run shop like ours when you call in looking for that used part. Stay tuned. Okay guys, here we are at my desk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what happens step by step from the time you call in looking for a part and the time it actually gets back here, it gets inspected and cleaned, and I call you back. Because the perception is that all of this stuff is on a shelf, neatly categorized, tagged, and we know exactly where it is with laser precision. When you are a Fortune 500 company like Amazon, you can do that. And that's how they ship things so fast, because everything is truly barcoded in a bin by itself, all 10 million items they make. We're dealing with 50 years worth of cars, an average of 13,000 pieces per car, and most of them don't translate over more than 4 or 5 years. So do the math. That's a lot of pieces, and we have to keep that all up here. So just so you guys understand what a small independent vintage parts place does, let's pretend that I'm about to get a phone call and what they're looking for is this. Now, for those of you who don't recognize this, this is an air induction tube specifically for a 1992-1993 Corvette LT1. It's a fairly hard piece to find because it was only used in 2 years, and more importantly, inside it actually has a sensor that's relatively important to running your car correctly. They're often torn, they're often messed up. So to find a nice one, you have to call all over the country. Well, let's say that you were smart enough to call me first. Ring, C&S Corvettes, this is Lyle, how can I help you? Oh, I'll be happy to help you with that, sir. Do you have a part number? You do? Outstanding. What's that part number? Okay, I'm going to call you back shortly as soon as I have a chance to go to my warehouse and make sure that I've got a good one. All right, talk to you later. That's step one. Step two is we get in the truck. Okay, so now I'm driving over to the warehouse building where we keep all our vintage parts. Now remember, I'm not in the office to answer phone calls, so other people calling in, their calls are stacking up for when I get back. So I'm going to have to deal with those folks, which I'm happy to do, but that's going to be more people who are waiting on me to go look for parts. It takes me about 15 or 20 minutes to do what we're about to do. So I'm going to drive safely and not die, and I'll see you at the warehouse. Okay, so we're here at the warehouse. Follow me. Come on in. This is where all parts are stored. As you can see, we have everything sorted out into large bins, and it's all kept indoors under a roof so that it's not sitting outside rotting like most vintage facilities have. But for right now, I'm looking for that tube. So I think I remember where the box is, but I got to take my time and find it. Let's see. No. No. Ah, there it is. See? C4 air tubes. So I need to go get the forklift and pull this big crate down so I can root through and see if I have a nice one of those. But first, I have to move this because it's in my way. So let me go get the forklift and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I've got my air tube box down. And we've got all kinds of them. This is 1991 only, 1994 to 1996, and oh, looky there, there is a nice 1992 to 93 air induction tube. So while I'm here, I check all the edges, make sure it's not torn. Nope, no tears. A little tear in that one. Let's see if we got a better one here. No tear, no tear. We've got a winner. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this bin back up. I'm going to go park the forklift, and we're going to get back in the truck. Now, about 15 to 20 minutes has elapsed in the time I was over here because I had to move the forklift. The forklift was behind two other crates that you didn't see me move. Get that around, unload everything, find the tube that we needed, put everything back away for the next guy. Now I'm back in the truck heading over. I've also had 2 phone calls come in myself from the shop of people looking for more stuff. So those folks will get handled, but they're now 6 or 7 calls deep just in the last 45 minutes. We're headed back to the shop now, and we'll pick it up when we get there. We've now arrived back at the shop with the part that our customer was looking for, but I wouldn't send a part out that looked like this. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it doesn't look professional. It looks dusty. So we're going to give it to Dan, our cleanup guy, and he's going to take care of making this look good as new. When he's done with the job, I'll be back and show you the next step. Alright, so now Dan has gone through and cleaned up this piece, and now that meets our standards for a nice, shippable, guaranteed good used piece. All told, between the time I took the phone call to the time I returned the phone call to the customer saying yes we had it, and here's the price, this cost about 45 minutes. Now, the price on the piece still has to be reasonable, otherwise nobody's going to buy it. And of course, we're not out to hang anybody out to the dry financially. However, 45 minutes is 45 minutes, and somebody has to pay for that time because that's how all of us feed our family, okay? But if we do this, our system is tight enough to do this the right way, we can still keep our prices low, we can still deliver quality, used and new products and get them to you in a timely fashion. Your half of that equation is not only what we talked about earlier about knowing the year, knowing which side, knowing a part number, sending pictures, any of that's helpful to us. The most helpful thing you can do is be patient. Because sometimes, just a few minutes ago, we had a gentleman call looking for a particular part. We said we'd look for it and give him a call back as soon as possible. He called back 11 minutes later. Did you find it yet? Well, no, we haven't left our desk because we're still on the phone with 2 other people. Be patient with us. These things don't grow on trees, as you probably know. So when you're looking for a vintage part, give us half a day. Give us till the next morning. If you don't hear from us, give us a call. We do get busy, and sometimes I don't get back to everybody on the same day. And I'm very happy when somebody calls me the next day and says, "Hey, I called you on this part. Did you happen to locate it?" And I go, "Oh, yes, sir, I did. I just didn't have a chance to call you back because we ran out of time at the end of the day." And the world's a happier place. You have your part, I have your money. It's a good time. Please keep these things in mind, and maybe now you know just a little bit more about what it's like to run a small, independent, specialty salvage lot. I look forward to seeing you next week.